Hey everybody, Sneaky Narcotic back at it again with another YouTube video. Actually back at it again with some more RAVNICA spoilers, and I have a whole page to get through. So let's get started. We'll start with some amplifire. 2 generic, 2 red. Creature elemental. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Until your next turn, Amplifier's base power becomes twice that card's power, and its base toughness becomes twice that card's toughness. Put the revealed card on the bottom of your library and put the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in any random order. So that's a lot of words for this elemental. But basically, revealed cards from the top of your library until they're... Basically, you'll have a, if you play Amplifier and you play only one other card, I'm trying to think of what is the, I guess, Galta, maybe, is the, let me keep that definition for later, is the only real big creature I can think of right now, that you would just absolutely be like, hey, crazy, Google, I'm already on Google, Galta. Images. So yeah, Galta is as you can see from here, it is a 12/12. And that's the only thing I can really think of. So this would definitely go in a Gruul, especially with there being goblins. I'd expect that in a Gruul. Not really too much more to say about that. Seraph of the Scales. 2 generic, 1 white, 1 black. It's a creature angel. Flying, mythic rare, by the way. Flying, pay 1 white, Seraph of the Scales gains vigilance until end of turn. Pay 1 black, Seraph of the Scales gains death touch until end of turn. And has an afterlife of 2 where it makes 2 1/1 white and black spirit creature tokens with flying. Alright, so I don't really know why it has mythic other than it has a lot of abilities. I don't really think that should give it mythic rare, but whatever. I like that it has vigilance. Being a flyer with vigilance for 4 is really nice. Well, really technically 5 if you want to put it like that. The death touch doesn't really affect my thinking any. When you put death touch on a flyer, it doesn't affect my thinking at all. It's like, oh cool, it's there. The afterlife part's pretty cool because that means you don't really, you care, but it's okay. Let's put it that way. You care, but it's okay that Seraph of the Scales dies. And even sometimes, especially with this, so here's a thought, and I'm going to try to remember this for when it happens. This afterlife ability, Supreme Phantom, I want to say, is what this card came out in M19, and people were like, well, why do we have this? Well, here's why we have this. Flying, other spirits you control get +1/+1. Well, what does that say here? White and black spirits creature tokens with flying. So I think that this is all about an Esper deck. Some weird old Esper deck that's going to be in the new meta, and so every time I look at this afterlife, that's what I think of. Cool that it has flying. I wish, because it's an angel and it's in white, that it had lifelink, but you get what you get. Let's get to the next one. Ravager Wurm, 3 generic, 1 red, 1 red, 2 green. It is a creature worm, hitting us with those mythic rares today, guys. Riot, just for those who don't remember what Riot's about, this creature enters the battlefield with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. And then it says, when Ravager Wurm enters the battlefield, choose up to 1, and then it gives you 2 choices. Ravager Wurm fights target creature you don't control, destroy target land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability. Oh, man. That's pretty cool, right? All those Ixalan lands, all those Ixalan lands, except for like the one that I can't think of it right now, but basically it gives you all the mana that you would ever need or want. Other than that, destroy a target land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability. That's just really good to me. I like land destruction for Grohl. That looks really cool. On top of that, you know, you getting a 4/5, well, 4/5 or 5/6 depending on what you want to do. 5/6 that comes in with a prey upon MTG. Yeah, with basically a prey upon. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So that's not bad. 5/6. That's removal. Granted, it's a high cost for removal, but it's also a body, and I love the art on that. Just a worm coming out about to eat. I guess that's either a bird or a demon. Can't really tell. I think it's a bird. But anyways, speaking of demons, Spawn of Mayhem. 2 generic, 2 black, creature, demon, mythic rare, hitting us with those mythic rares today. It has Spectacle, which is, you may pay the Spectacle cost instead of paying its actual mana cost if an opponent lost life this turn. It has Flying, has Trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. Then, if you have 10 or less life, put a +1/+1 counter on Spawn of Mayhem. Upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage. This is a little wordy, and I at the beginning of your upkeep, so here's what I'm thinking, and I might be wrong about this. Help me out, guys. I'm not a judge. I'm a player. First off, the Spectacle cost. That's pretty cool. I like Spectacle. Spawn of Mayhem, off the top of my head, it's a demon. The only other demon that I know that's even close is Doom Whisperer. And it's not the same mana, and it's a mythic, and it's still about losing life. So, that's the closest thing I think, except for this one. Also, make sure your opponent lose life. And that's great in Commander, because at the beginning of your upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. Granted, you're never going to get that 10 or less without dying in Commander, realistically. But that's fine. You know, that's still 1 damage per turn getting dealt. It's moving the board for 4 mana. Or 3, depending. It also reminds me a lot of Argol's Bloodfast. Yeah, Argol's Bloodfast, where it's kind of about you having some reason to lose life and, you know, move up the board state in some position, and then after you've lost so much life or gotten your life down to a certain total, it gives you something worth having. And so here's the part that is my question, is then if you have 10 or less life, put a +1/+1 counter on Spawn of Mayhem. So if it's at the beginning of every upkeep, and I'm pretty sure I'm reading this right, I'm just, in case there's that one guy that's like, oh no, you're wrong, I acknowledge that I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. At the beginning of your upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. Then if you have 10 or less, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So if you have 10 or less, and you're just going to be able to consistently put a +1/+1 counter on Spawn of Mayhem every turn on your upkeep. That's what I'm reading, and I'm positive. I'm almost positive I'm right. And in fact, because Argol's Bloodfast is still in Standard after this set comes in, you could pair it and start, get your life total real close, and then sacrifice it. Just keep a Temple of Akalazotz up, but you better watch out for that Ravager wurm. Just saying. So here is another cool card. Precognition Perception. 3 generic, 2 blue. Draw 3 cards. Addendum, if you cast a spell during your man phase Instead, scry 3 cards, then draw 3 cards. The flavor text says, to control the present, we must master the future. This card reminds me of an old card from Kaladesh that was in every blue player's, let me finish typing now, every blue player's deck, and actually I think ended up getting some money for an uncommon. Glimmer of Genius. Scry 2, then draw 2, and then back then it mattered to get 2 energy counters, which a lot of people didn't use anyways, but whatever. Yeah, this is like a little better of a Glimmer of Genius. And Glimmer of Genius by itself was basically only 1 blue less to scry 2, then draw 2. Now you're scrying 3. You're getting a potential of seeing 3 cards before drawing 3, so you're getting a potential of seeing 6 cards off of 5 mana, and that's ridiculous to me. This will go in my blue commander deck that I like to, that's, self-mill deck, yeah. Go check that out, Arcanist, the Omnipotent. I do have a video up of that. Before I go any further, let me, please ask you guys to like, subscribe, do all the usual YouTube stuff. I finally got up to 11 subscribers. I've started this channel back in October, late October, and I really appreciate any subscribes, likes, comments. I got a couple comments yesterday, and I've already replied to them, and I love talking to you guys as my community, if I can say that. I don't even know if I can say that with 11 subscribers, but as my YouTube community, I am y'all's biggest fans. So just hit me with that subscribe button as fast as you can. Teysa Karlov, 2 generic, 1 white, 1 black, legendary creature, human advisor. I'm going to zoom in on this because it looks a little faded, and that's just how it was pictured. As you can see, it's just a little faded. So human advisor, and it's a rare. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink. So, going back to this afterlife trigger, right? This basically says, because I have afterlife, like, let's again take a look at this one. Afterlife of 2, making 2 1/1 white and black spirit creatures. This is Panharmonicon for... I do have to go ahead and put that Panharmonicon in there, even though a lot of people should know what I'm talking about here. Panharmonicon said if an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Well, the afterlife is going to trigger again. So for my 4/3 creature here to die, it will trigger twice, making 4 1/1 white and black spirits. That's ridiculous. That's a value. For Teysa Karlov to be able to do that. The only thing that Tessa's missing is having afterlife herself, you know? Creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink, so it's even acknowledging that it's about this afterlife. I'm about to get white, 1/1 white and black flying vigilance and lifelink tokens. That's crazy. That's evasion. Red and green's never going to be able to deal with that. Come to think of it, I mean, other than, Ravager Wurm just going to go at it right there by attacking a target creature. But, I mean, it's just, it's value because it's going to be able to boost your board. Another thing I was thinking about, and I don't know colors that well, but it's red, black, and white. And let me open this up in a new tab so that way you guys can see it. There was a card in the last video, Judith the Scourge Diva, and thank you for, I'll see if I can't find his name while I'm talking about her, but I had a YouTube subscriber hit me up with 1 damage to any target, whenever a non-token creature dies. I'm sorry, I didn't read that correctly in the last video. Shout out to Black Rider Bob. That's who hit me with that, and we got to talking about a little bit about Judith. So yes, Judith, whenever non-control so Judith's ability can trigger and become a shock. Just that's ridiculous. If you get Judith turn 3, doing this wrong. Judith turn 3, Teysa Karlov turn 4, right on curve, and then you get some creatures out and start just absolutely shocking the crap out of your opponent or creatures he has. I mean, that's punishable. That's crazy in my opinion. That a good thing they did not put it in each other's colors, because if Teysa Karlov and Judith were together, then that would be the craziness right there, in my opinion. I'm going to leave this page up. I don't think I have any more older posts to talk about. So here's one for you guys. Skarrgan Hellkite. 3 generic, 2 red. Let me real quick check, make sure. Yeah, I'm still... My computer's been a little buggy recently, so I had to make sure I'm still recording so I can get this out on time for you guys. But Skarrgan Hellkite, 3 generic, 2 red. Here's a flyer for you. A creature dragon, mythic rare. It comes out with Riot. This creature enters spell filled with your choice of +1/+1 counter or haste. It has flying because it's a dragon, and it has 3 generic, 1 red. Skarrgan Hellkite deals 2 damage, divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Activate this ability only if Skarrgan Hellkite has a +1/+1 counter on it. So it is forcing you guys to make it a 5/5. That's basically what it's saying, is make it a 5/5. Paying 4 mana for a shock is not what I would like to do. Forcing me, when you give me the ability of Riot, to make a 5-cost dragon that's a 4/4 come in for a 5 for 5, a 5/5 for 5, just so that I can start shocking for 4. That I don't understand why they made this a mythic, other than we're going to Gruul, and Gruul is not known for its flyers, and now that Orzhov's about to get the hell out of some flyers, it might be worth its mythic in the set. As far as anything else, I have a friend that plays dragon, 5-color dragons as a commander, using Dragon, and I don't see him playing this, except for maybe for the haste, because he likes to do some stupid combo about that. Anyways, this isn't about dragons. This is about RAVNICA Allegiance spoilers. So, the next card, bolrac-clan Crusher. 3 generic, 1 red, 1 green. Creature, ogre, warrior, and it is an uncommon. So, tap, remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature you control. Bolrac-clan Crusher deals 2 damage to any target. That's pretty good, I would say. Basically trading your Riot ability, if you're going to stick to Gruul colors, to shock something at instant speed, as long as as Bolrac is untapped. I would even go as far as putting it in a blue, red, green deck, because Simic is, Simic's going to adapt, not adapt. I guess there's no creature that I can really show off adapt with right now. Sorry, guys. Here, open link in new tab. But the other creature type that you want to stick to green, go back to exploring. With Merfolk Branch Walker. I think this might even be on curve. So, no, it's not on curve. There's reasons why this is why it's running slow. It's probably because I'm not playing this right. Well, guys, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. Yes. Do. Well, I guess we'll take this time while it's loading to bring up a topic. I have a Facebook page. It does not say Sneaky Narcotic. It says... Magic the Gathering decks. That's the best way, if you guys, other than YouTube, to get in touch with me. Hit me up with some decks. Actually, post your decks. Like, I made that particular page to start a community. I am all about community, guys. I want friends who play Magic, and I want people who can show me some amazing decks that I wouldn't even fathom, you know? So anyways, Zagana over here adapts 4, so there you go. That's a perfect way to consistently be able to shock an opponent at instant speed with a creature that could block for 4/4 if you wanted to do that instead. Merfolk Branchwalker, where did he go? Merfolk Branchwalker or its buddy Jade Light Ranger. I won't pull up Jade Light Ranger because we all know this is basically Jade Light Ranger mini Jade Light Ranger. Anyways, it puts a +1/+1 counter on it if you want to play the gambling game of exploring. And I mean, consistently exploring will either make your board state better or get you your +1/+1 counters, which is why I like exploring in green. Crazy to play against, awesome to play with. So anyways, that is what I think about bolrac-clan Crusher. Let us actually open up the page for this one. Because you can't really see past the picture here, but, okay. So I didn't think they had written this one out yet because it's not in Spanish. They've written out the Spanish ones, but they haven't written out the English ones that are hidden behind things. So, depose, deploy. Depose part of this instant. It is an instant. That's pretty cool. 1 generic, a hybrid mana of 1 white or 1 blue. Instant, uncommon, tap target creature, draw a card. Already love it. I'm trying to think of a card that just taps creatures. Can't right now off the top of my head other than Sleep. And Sleep's 4 mana to tap all creatures. But, God, I wish I could remember. Other than Artful Takedown, which is similar. But, anyways, basically for a tempo card, that's insane. I like it. Deploy is 2 generic, 1 white, 1 blue. Creatures. I have been reading too much today. Instant, uncommon. Create 2 1/1 color stopped or artifact creature tokens with flying. Then you, I'm going to guess, gain life for each creature you control. So, here's what's cool about this. Like, the deploy part of this is white-blue has gone away from just absolutely controlling the board, and Depose is a control card. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Depose is control. But let's say you want to go into Bant and you're convoking. Convoking is when you can tap creatures for mana as long as that card says convoke. If you're convoking, you can deploy, and these artifact creatures are helpful for convoking. If you've already convoked or you already have some tokens out there, Saproling tokens, and we're talking about in Bant. I don't know if I said that yet, but we're talking about in Bant. Blue, white, green. You already have some creatures out there, then deploy is about to gain you some mana. I'm thinking of a Saproling Migration. One of the cards used in the Convoke deck right now. Saproling Migration. Where are you at? There we go. So Saproling Migration is a great card for these Convoke decks, and for these little weenie decks that white-blue is starting to look at making. Create 2 1/1 green Saproling tokens. If it's kicked, it makes 4. Um, you put this out on turn 2, maybe play another one on turn 3, and then you depose. You'll have 2 from turn 2, 2 from turn 3. You'll have 2 from this, and then you'll gain 6 life off of that. That's a good card to me. I like it. Let's put it like that. I like what they're doing with blue white, not making it cancerous control. Not as cancerous as somebody reminded me the other day of Abzan control. Anyways, growth chamber guardian, 1 generic, 1 green creature, elf crab warrior. What the hell? It is a rare. It has an actual good costing adapt of 2 generic, 1 green, adapt 2, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. It comes out already as a 2/2, so that would make it a 4/4. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Growth Chamber Guardian, you may search your library for a card named Growth Chamber Guardian. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So it fetches itself, which is crazy to me. You bring it out on turn 2. On turn 3, you're adapting. I keep on calling adapting. Adapting. Blah blah. To go ahead and make it a bigger creature, but on top of that, to go ahead and grab you another one. And if you have 2 on the board, you go ahead and grab you 2 more. I mean, it's a good card in my opinion. You're gonna play all 4 of them in a game. If you're playing a whole playset, you're going to play all 4 of them in the game. Just say. It might be as good as Wild Growth Walker, in my opinion. The last card that I know that was worth 1 generic, 1 green, and worth the hell out of its plastic. Cardboard. I'm sorry, cardboard. Wilderness Reclamation. 3 generic, 1 green, enchantment, uncommon. Again, hitting us with these uncommons. At the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control. The flavor text says, walls crack, buildings fall, always the wild returns. Domri Raid. So, I like this card not in green. The reason it's uncommon is because it's in green. You don't have a lot of instants or sorceries or things you're playing on other people's instants that you're playing on other people's turns, or stuff you're trying to do on other people's turns in green. Granted, in Commander, this is an amazing card because you're going to be able to. You only do it at the end of your end step. Okay, that's the only thing in Commander. So you still have to survive 3 other end steps, but you still have reaction mana, and that's what I like about Wilderness Reclamation. In Standard, with blue and green being together, Wilderness Reclamation might be cool, but as a mono green card, not worth its card stock. Rakdos, the man himself, the showstopper, 4 generic, 1 black, 1 red, legendary creature, demon, mythic rare. Ooh. Flying Trample. When Rakdos the Showstopper enters the battlefield, flip a coin for each creature that isn't a demon, devil, or an imp. Destroy each creature whose coin comes up tails. His flavor text says, entertain me. Oh, man. For Rakdos to come on the board and possibly be the only creature standing after that, that's pretty funny. Although you gotta understand, it's a demon. Most demons hit you too. So maybe you should start playing some demon devils or imps. This is gonna be a hell of a lot easier to play in Commander than it is anywhere else. But that's another thing. Being a legendary creature and being able to be a commander himself, Rakdos would be a hell of a card in Commander, because it is basically threatening almost every single time a 50-50 board wipe. In Commander, you're going to make it to where it's not affecting you. I'm going to have my demons and devils and imps that aren't hurting me. So, for me to be able to potentially blow up every single creature, because this doesn't say target, so even those with Hexproof or Shroud, hey, you're gone. So that's just so cool. I like it. I like Rakdos, the showstopper. As far as standard, he's on curve with putting, not on curve per se, but he's on the idea of Judith, the Scourge Diva, because even if you blow up creatures that you own, or Judith herself, you're gonna get some type of value out of it, and it'll be fine. You know, hell, you could team this up again with white, black, red, and then even if you accidentally blow up your Seraph of the Scales, guess what? You're getting some afterlife here. You know, it's going to be a good card. Buy 4 copies. Okay. Pestilent Spirit. Now, I'm sorry, I'm making a long video, but that's because I want to get all of these spoilers out. I enjoy spoiler season as much as anybody else. Just watch as much as you guys can. Go check out the spoilers yourself. I recommend magicspoiler.com because that's where I'm getting all my spoilers from. Anyways, Pestilent Spirit. 2 generic, 1 black, creature spirit, rare, menace, death touch. Menace, death touch. Menace, and death touch. Instant and sorcery spells you cast have death touch. Oh, man. Call Rakdos the freaking legends here, okay? That means a shock or thoughts right here. You want a board wipe? Voltaic combustion? Voltaic MTG. Let's just type that in. There's a freaking wipe card in red. There's a card in, God help me, I can't remember it right now. There's a card in red that deals 1 damage to all creatures your opponent controls. And I wish I could remember it right now. This is killing me, guys. It's killing me. But here's one. Very similar. Let's do this. Oh, this isn't a sorcery. I'm sorry. But anyways, do understand that it is an instant or sorcery that has death touch. It doesn't instantly kill it by touching it, okay? That's, even though it says death touch, if you touch it, it doesn't instantly die. Any amount of damage that is dealt to that creature is enough to destroy it. I love this card. The flavor text says its stench corrodes still. It's miasma, sickness, angels. Its finality ends hope. Yes it does. That's all I'm saying, dude. This card, this card is buy 4 copies. That's how good this card is. For you to be able to do death touch with your instants and sorceries is just enough to me. Your shocks, shocks. The shock. The whole burn idea itself, shock, deals 2 damage to target creature or player. You just dealt enough damage to a creature for it to die for 1 mana. Congratulations. It could have been a 12/12 Galta. It died. You know? And like I said, if you guys can help me remember, I'm going to try it one more time. I think it might be Voltaic Explosion. Explosion. And I can't spell today. Nope. That's not it either. MTG. Nope, it's still not it. Darn it. I really wish I could remember that card for you guys right now. But basically, that card would board wipe. Just with having this out and having that out. It was from the other guilds of RAVNICA. I don't want to waste the time to have to go look that up for you guys. And it's a spirit, not that matters. I do want to mention something. It has menace and death touch. So when you guys look at this, remember that when you are giving out damage, that if it has menace, it doesn't just kill one. It kills both creatures regardless. as long as both creatures are able to die. Because when it gets blocked by 2 creatures, it will deal 1. You can, and you have to declare this if you're playing competitively. You have to declare how much damage is dealt to each creature that is blocking. So it deals 1 damage to each creature at least. Okay, so the first creature A, you deal 1 damage to. Creature B, you deal 2 damage to. If they blocked with a third creature, you deal 1 damage to all 3, A, B, and C. Because any type of damage just killed those creatures. Okay? Just helping you out there. End-raze forerunners. 5 generic mana plus 3 green. 8 total mana for a 7/7 boar creature that is a rare. Has vigilance, trample, haste. When end-razer enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance and trample until the end of turn. Flavor text, smash the city to pieces. Domri Raid. I guess he's the only one that talks in Gruul. I don't know. Paying 8 mana for a 7/7. The only other 7/7 that comes to mind is Palaka Wurm. Yeah, that one. And that's for 7 mana. It is 7/7, right? 7 mana for 7/7. And that's worth its rare. This is, in my opinion, worth its rare, but you're not playing 4 copies. It's a high mana cost. And if you have to get this out, win the game with it, please. Because, I mean, geez, it gives so much value for all your other creatures. This just made your Llanowar elves that were helping ramp you up to this 3/3 vigilance and trampling. So just saying, that's with the smallest card that I know off the top of my head, mono green. You could play this in mono green and it would be just fine. Next card, Prime Speaker Vannifar. 2 generic, 1 green, 1 blue, and this is so weird. It is an elf ooze wizard. Legendary creature. It is a mythic rare. That sounds disgusting. It is an elf ooze. Ugh. Anyways, it has the ability. It comes out as a 2/4. It has the ability to tap, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a creature. Card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So, Commander, this is going to be sick as hell. Otherwise, we're going to have to play some number games is what we're going to have to play. Because basically, first off, I recommend putting enter the battlefield creatures into your deck. So that way, this is always causing a new enter the battlefield that they're not expecting. If you want to do, I have a deck that I think I made either in Pauper or there was a special type of Magic that I was playing from Magic Arena, and basically it was like Cascade. And so I played a 1-2-3 deck, where I had a set amount of cards that were one mana. I had a set amount of cards that were 2 mana. I had a set amount of cards that were 3 mana. Each one did different things when it came out, and that was the point of that deck. I believe that's something that they're trying to do here, and that looks cool to me. As far as Commander, guys, holy crap. I can't think off the top of my head what creatures I would want to enter the battlefield first. But it'd be the same idea, guys. You'd have your set 1 mana creatures, 2 mana creatures, 3 mana creatures, going all the way up the list. And honestly, you don't even have to start at 1. I'm just saying consecutively it would have to work, because that's how the card is written. It would have to be consecutively up like that. But you might even want to start at 4 or 5 mana if you want to get it off on curve, because then you could put this card out, put your 5 mana card out, turn after that, and then start going off. Yeah, that's that card. Wow, there's 6 more cards, guys, so bear with me. I know it's a long video. I wanted it to be a long video. We're actually going to come back to these 4 cards because they're Spanish, and I have to click on each individually and talk about them and try to help translate, as well as Magic Spoilers has already translated some for me. So let's talk about Basilica Bell Hunt. 2 white, 2 black. When Basilica Bell Hunt enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and you gain 3 life. You can hear their tolling only when your debt is due. So this reminds me of another deck that I recently have played, and that was Discard for Power. Basically making my opponent hate playing Magic because, why? Well, I want him to. I want him to concede. Because making him discard his hand makes him have nothing to throw back at me, except for he's going to become the top deck hero if he somehow is able to come back at me like that, Flavor text. You can hear their willing... Oh, I already said that. They're tolling only when your debt is due. Duh. It is Spirit, so it would still go good in an Esper deck. Still loving this white, black, blue Esper Spirits. Granted, it is double cost white, double cost black, so it is going to be hard to get out in the Esper field unless you are playing only blue through dual land cards, which, hey, there's a crap ton of them out there. Good field, let's say, to play a 3-color deck. Just saying. Okay. Knock them out, guys. Pitiless Pontiff. 1 white, 1 black, creature, vampire, cleric, uncommon. Pay 1 generic, sacrifice another creature. Pitiless Pontiff gains Death Touch and indestructible until end of turn. Still going off with these afterlife. If we had to pick a other than maybe Rakdos, because Rakdos is looking like it's definitely on par for what it is. Being able to get triggers out of killing things, white and black is doing awesome. And that's what it's all going about. All these cards are about are basically around each other. And that's white and black is looking pretty synchronized. That's all I'm saying. Unlike blue and green, to be honest. Flavor text. Pay in gold, pay in blood. Pay with the servitude of your spirit kin, but pay you must. So, now we get to read some Spanglish, guys. Some Spanglish. Bramido del Carnarium. This is the next card. So, Bramido del Carnarium actually translates... I had to translate... I think it translates either to Shudder of Carnarium or Bellow of Carnarium. It's Catalan or Spanish, and I was trying to help translate that part, and because they haven't, that's not the actual name if I had to guess, because Magic doesn't normally put Del in the English version, but anyways. 1 generic, 2 black. It is a sorcery. It is uncommon. It says all creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Exile all creature cards from all graveyards that were put there this turn. Yes, a creature would die this turn. Exile it instead. So if a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Yes. Okay. Anyways, the flavor text loosely translates because they didn't translate for me. I did it a little bit myself, and I'm basing this off of memory because I accidentally X'd out of the page. If your ears bleed at a party, if your ears bleed, it's a party. If your eyes bleed, it's a rakdos party. And so that's why I think it's Bellow of Carnarium. Not what did I say the other one was? Bramido. Anyways, yeah, I think it's Bellow of Carnarium if I had to give the actual name of this. Here's another one. We okay. So they don't have the Spanish again on the names here, but I do. So the first one is canonize, and the second one translates to miss. It's probably not going to be exactly to miss. It's probably going to be something similar to canonize, but I didn't have my thesaurus with me. I'm sorry. So canonize, one generic hybrid of white or black. Exile target card from a graveyard. Looking back at my notes. Oh, it's right down here. Excuse me. Exile target card in a graveyard, draw a card. It's an instant, and both of these are uncommon. I like that. Exile target card in a graveyard. It's going back to Kaya's ability here to, basically have reasons to exile cards and to have cards exiled. I shuts out Gogart. That's all I'm saying, man. And then, so, Carcomer, which is translated to miss. 2 generic, 1 white, 1 black. It's a sorcery. Target player sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. You gain life equal to that creature's power. So yeah, that's you basically kill the biggest threat on the board from your opponent, gain life from it. That's pretty good, So let's go to the next one. Alerta Maxima. Yes, I know how Spanish works. So this one was fun because I translated the whole thing before I figured out that you could click on the picture and it would tell you what it's translated to. So high alert, 1 generic, 1 white, 1 blue. It's an enchantment. It's a uncommon enchantment. Creatures deal damage with toughness rather than power. Creatures you control can attack just so they did not have defender. And then has a mana ability of 2 generic, 1 white, 1 blue, untapped target creature. So this just feels like an Arcades type of thing. Being able to, Arcades in my mind, because I am still new-ish, not really, I guess a 3-4 year veteran of Magic, so back in Zendikar is when I first started Arcades the Strategist. So this is my idea of the master of Defender, basically. Defender in walls. Arcades being able to let a defender's attack and use their toughness as their attack. And then, drawing off of that, of course. But it's in bent colors itself, and then you take out the green part and you got high alert. So it's interesting to me. I haven't really seen any defenders yet, especially in Ravnica. I've seen some from Izzet, but then you would have to make this Jeskai, which it's not on par to what Arcades is about, But I did think when Arcades came out that there should be some type of wall per se, but defender esque deck, and there was for a time, but it has died out. So let's go to the next one. As far as commander, high alert would be pretty cool for your wall commander. That might be something I do. So here's the next one, Carnival Carnage. Carnival's a hybrid, 1 mana costing either black or red hybrid. Carnival deals 1 damage to a creature or planeswalker and 1 damage to its controller. So that's pretty cool. That's not a reason other than having that pestilence, that gives all your spells death touch. That's not really a reason to play Carnival, but that's not too bad. It's a shock divided between two targets, basically. So the next one is Carnage, and Carnage is a little better. Deals 3 damage to an opponent. That opponent discards 2 cards. So Mind Rot plus plus a shock to the face. So shock, everybody knows shock. if I could do MTG. Everybody, shock, I'm sorry. Lightning strike. Lightning strike. MTG. Lightning strike deals 3 damage to any target. So, lightning strike to the face plus mind rot. Lightning strike being 2 mana. Mind rot being 3 mana. So, this is 5 mana. And as you can see, mind rot's just target player discards 2 cards. This is mind rot plus lightning strike. For a discount. You know, that's all it is. And it's good. I'm not bashing it. I discard for power deck. Could have used this, you know. Could have splashed red. I wouldn't have minded. It would have worked. So yeah, guys. I think that's the last card. Please like, subscribe, do all the usual YouTube stuff. I will be going back this weekend. Even if spoilers come out, I'll start making 2 videos a day. If spoilers comes out this weekend, and we're going to go back to playing some Magic. But right now, guys, the channel is focused on getting these spoilers out as fast as we can. That's also why I'm not doing, while you'll see me go into OBS instead of me cutting it out, because it's easier to just upload it from OBS, and it's faster to upload it from OBS and get it out to you guys as soon as possible. So, please like, subscribe, do all the usual YouTube stuff. This is Sneaky Narcotic, signing off.